Welcome everyone. This is Marcelino Nogueiro with the Golden Gate Computer Society, and this is our monthly meeting where we bring you a guest speaker and try to get really interesting ones. We do have one of the top interesting groups here today, and that is Chris and Jim Guld with the Geeks On Tour. Most of you that have been with the club for a while know that they've presented in person and remotely, and I think every possible combination thereof. They are currently on a floating condo, is what I guess it's called. But I'm going to let them talk a little bit more about that. We do ask that everyone stay muted so that we don't have any interruptions since we are recording. And we're going to then, we'll go through the presentation, and then for the Q&A and stuff, we'll probably just turn off the recording. But for the starting part of it, if you can hold off on your questions, if you have a real pressing question that can't wait for a timely thing, then go ahead and you raise your hand, and then we'll get you into the chat there, into the actual bill. Ask the question. So, Chris and Jim, I'm turning it over to you. Thank you for joining us and presenting for us once again. We always look forward to this particular event. So, you go ahead, take it.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
And yes, we fondly remember times that we got to come and present in person. We even did some workshops, some like day-long or several hour-long workshops many years ago with you guys. And so good to see you all. And we are here today to teach a little bit about some Google Photos new editing tips. But based on your quest, we are also going to talk about our new life on a residential cruise ship. And based on the questions, I might do Google Photos kind of quickly. And get to the cruise ship stuff.
We can see the chat, so if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll try and answer them.
So, Golden Gate Computer Society for July 28, 2025. I am Chris.
And I'm Jim.
And we are Geeks On Tour.
All right, we're on a ship and we're dependent on Starlink for internet. If it cuts out while we're live here, be patient. It usually comes right back, and Zoom does a good job here. You guys are recording it, and we're recording it from our end as well. So if you're in the witness protection program, you might want to turn off your camera. I don't think we'll be interrupted by a captain's message, but it could happen. That's just so you know. I'll let everybody work with it, okay?
So, in case you don't know us, I'm Chris, he's Jim.
And I'm Jim.
And we are not Geek Squad, okay?
I won't fix your computer. We're Geeks On Tour, and we wear these silly hats to kind of remind us not to take everything too seriously, because but we are geeks who teach. We lived in an RV and traveled the country. That's when we saw you guys in person at the Golden Gate Computer Society and all over. So we did this all over the place. And now we live on a residential cruise ship, and we're traveling the world. It's pretty cool.
And we will tell you about it. But another word for a geek is a propeller head. That's why
the hats.
So just in case you don't recognize us without our propellers, here we are. Our website is geeksontour.com. We're headed up to 1,000 tutorial videos.
Yeah, pretty quick too.
You just go to geeksontour.com, see the menu item for tutorials, and you see all videos. And there's a new button on our website now that is Our Cruising Life. If you click there, you will see links to everything you want to know about our life on board the Villa Vie Odyssey, and we will show you that a little bit later. You will be able to review these slides, and the videos that we show have links, and the way you do that is you go to our website. If you go to geeksontour.com And then you can scroll down to classes. When we give a specific presentation to a group, we call that a class. So if you click on classes, you will see in date order all the classes we've given. So, and you just look through it. July 28, Golden Gate Computer Society, Google Photos presentation. Click there, and here are the slides that we are going to be going through today. And that is available for everyone, no charge for a couple of weeks, and then we put it behind our paywall for members only. Speaking of members only, if you want to have access to everything on our website, we ask that you pay us $68 for 1 year or $58 on an annual recurring basis. Now, we are going to talk about some Google Photos and a couple of really fun special new editing features, and then we will cover our cruise ship lifestyle. In case you don't know Google Photos at all, can I see it? There's not too many people here. Those of you who have their cameras on, if you could just raise your real hand to say if you use Google Photos. So if you use Google Photos.
And if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I know Bill does. So not all of you. Look like about a third or so, maybe half, okay. Well, it is a product by Google to privately store. It's not, people can't Google for your photos. Google Photos is a product that privately stores your photos, and it will organize, edit, and you can then share any of them that you want to. And what I love about it is that it can gather my entire lifetime of photos. I have over 100,000 photos in my Google Photos library. And how does it do that? It stores them in the cloud. So yes, you might have to pay something if you get over a certain amount, but it is unlimited available storage in the cloud. So you can use it then from a computer or with an app on iPhones or Android devices. The service is free, the app is free, 15 gigabytes of storage is free. You do need to pay if you get over 15 gigabytes. The first tier is $20 per year for 100 gigabytes. I don't know of any photo storage system that is cheaper for cloud-based storage. And here's how it works. When you put the app on your phone and turn on Google Photos, every photo you take with your phone will get uploaded. But you can also upload all photos from your computer or from old hard drives. You can also even take photos of old prints, and then those will be uploaded. So that's how you get all of your photos in one. And if you want more information on that, I recommend video 635, and this is a live link here. It will play 635, but we're not going to take the time to do it now. So I'm going to jump right in with the most fun new feature, brand new feature. In fact, I doubt if any of you have it. I'm surprised that I got it. I just got it a few days ago, and it's called Reimagine. Now, if you have a Pixel phone, you might have had it for a little while. So I'm going to show you on my Android, because my Samsung phone is the only one of my devices right now that has this feature. But watch how quick and easy. So here's a photo in our cruise ship cabin. I'm just looking out the window. I love looking at the ocean, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and our little stuffed pelican there always sits on the windowsill. She's kind of become our mascot, if you will. So I think that's a pretty picture. but I have this idea. You're supposed to see whales up here. We haven't seen much in the way of whales, maybe a fluke now and then. But if I tap edit, just this edit button right here, if you have been using Google Photos editing, you will notice that this screen looks very, very different. And it will probably be coming to your phone soon if you don't already have it. And when I first, oh, it goes away. But let me show you. If I back out and do that again, it has a message comes up, tap circle or brush to select. If I just rub my finger around the ocean part of the picture, I now can erase what I circled, I can move what I circled, or I can reimagine. I'm going to reimagine. And then you just type words. Add a whale jumping. And let's see if it does it this time like it's done it before. And now it goes blurry because it's working. It's doing its magic. It's generating.
And it needs the internet to do this.
Well, you see whales. It doesn't jump quite like the other one that I did. But I do have a couple choices here.
There's one.
Yeah. So you look at your different choices of how it has reimagined it and decide which one you like the best and tap the check mark. And then save as copy. And I now have, I got rid of the pelican's head. Oh well, it now has me looking out the window at a whale jumping. And it does too good of a job, right? I mean, it is absolutely 100% true. You cannot trust anything you see in photos or videos anymore. Let me just show you what. Now, this next feature is not even available on Google Photos yet, but I need to show you this. I took that photo that Google Photos added the whale to, I brought it into Gemini AI and said make a video of it. Is that amazing or what? So that is just one of the most fun examples of what Google Photos' new AI editing is able to do. Next, I so think everybody should make their photos look a little bit better before you put them in your albums or share them with other people. You know, look at this sample. On the left is a photo of our ship in port in Kodiak, Alaska. And on the right is the exact same photo, but after I did just a little bit of editing to it. So I'm going to show you that. Once again, these new features, or the new editing tools, are only on the mobile devices, and I only have it on my Samsung right now. So I'm going to use my Samsung and show you that picture and tap edit. Now, yes, edit. Oh. The first thing I want to do, it's just a little bit crooked, but this is a pet peeve of mine. I want to make it straight, and I want to crop in closer to the ship. If you're used to Google Photos editing, you say, well, where's the crop tool? They've put it under actions now. So you tap Actions. Now there's Crop. And I can get it a little more straight. There we go. And then I can crop in a little closer to the ship. Okay. So I like that framing now. That's also what they're calling that. They're calling that framing. And I tap the check mark. But now it needs to be brightened up and enhanced. That is under Auto. You know, you could do all sorts of different lighting and color corrections, but the AI works just great under the Auto option. There's Enhance. That brightens it up a little bit. Dynamic usually does the most. Look at that. Now you can see the green grass and the white boat stands out more. And Boost adds a vignette around the edge. I think I liked the dynamic best, and I save as copy. So that's, yeah. So I just did, what did I do? Just two things, really. I went into Crop, and then I tapped on Dynamic. That's it. To make the difference between the photo on the left and the photo on the right. Removing an object from a photo. Now, Magic Eraser has been around a little while. They have moved it, but I think everybody should know about Magic Eraser, and we have a little video for this, 791. Magic Eraser started out only available on the Pixel. It is now available for all phones, not just Pixels. So we want to show you. I'm going to use my Samsung for this one, but it does work just the same on the iPhone. Oh, you do need to be a paid subscriber. If you are just using the free Google Photos 15 gigabyte account, then you will see this option when you go into edit, but it won't work. It will say, hey, you need to pay if you want to have this option. There's lots of editing tools that are for paid subscribers only. Now, being a paid subscriber is only $2 a month. You know, it's worth it. It is worth it for these tools. Okay, see if you agree. Watch this. So I go into Google Photos. Here's a photo of us on the beach, and notice those two people in the background. I tap on Edit, and then Magic Eraser appears right away if it's a photo that is appropriate for Magic Eraser. But if it doesn't, then it's under the Tools. It's under Tools, and you'll notice a multicolored 1. That means you must be a Google One subscriber. That's what I was talking about, minimum $2 a month, in order for this feature to work. All I have to do is tap Magic Eraser. It investigates the picture and it says, I'll bet you would like to have those people in the background gone. Notice how the people in the background have been outlined. I tap Erase All, and they're gone. This was a picture we took in Bali of a statue that was awesome. I want to get rid of this guy. This is not a friend. This is just somebody that got into my picture. So I'll tap Edit, and I'll tap Magic Eraser. But you'll see the suggestions that it finds is not what I wanted. Since this guy is so big, it thinks that that's somebody who belongs in the picture and it wants to delete these other folks. No, that's not what I want. So what I do is I just rub over him. And notice I am not exactly outlining him, but Magic Eraser does exactly outline him and gets rid of him. All right. And the last one is probably the most amazing, and that is telephone wires. It totally ruins this photo of a beautiful doorway. And so all of these wires, edit, and now Magic Eraser doesn't come up right in the beginning here. So I'll scroll over to Tools, and there's Magic Eraser. And it will find all those telephone wires. It highlights them. I tap Erase All, and they're gone. But notice there's a couple little things that it didn't get a couple over here. Well, that's fine. I can just rub, and it goes away. Rub on that one. I'm not getting it quite right. There we go. And there's a little piece up in the sky here, and that one. So you can keep cleaning it up, but it does the bulk of the work for you. Now, I would still want to straighten and crop and do some other things, but my point is the Magic Eraser is just awesome. It's no longer you no longer have to pay. That is a feature of just comes with Google Photos. There are no more paid editing tools. So, and they've moved it. So I do just want to show you this picture is in Cartagena. It was our first stop on this cruise, and the young kid is looking at Jim's mustache. Jim gets comments on his mustache everywhere we go, and this kid was just so fun the way he was enjoying Jim's mustache. But I don't want those people in the middle, so I just want to show you how I would get rid of that now with the new editing screens. I tap Edit, and Magic Eraser is now under Actions. Magic Eraser. Rub over these people and erase. It has to take a minute to do its magic, and there we go. So easy. And then you would check and save a copy. I'm not going to. So that is Magic Eraser. Then some normal things you can still do on a computer. I can go to Google Photos, and that picture, and here's the edit. Nothing has changed on the computer. You still have the same edit button. You still have the same crop tool. You can straighten it a little bit. I can crop in. This was in Seattle or Vancouver. I think this was in Vancouver, and the float planes were taking off and landing all day long right outside our window. And here it's under suggestions. These stars are where the fancy tools are on the computer, and I click on dynamic, and boom, that's a better picture. Then I save copy, but I'm not going to. So notice that dynamic, it's kind of an AI. If we have any old Picasso users here, do you remember the I'm feeling lucky? It's kind of like a really, really good I'm feeling lucky. Make my picture look better in one click. So that's dynamic. And now for fireworks, I think that using the live photos or the motion photos is a really good way to go. And you can watch this video, but I think maybe we shouldn't take the time. I know you have a lot of questions about cruise ships, so I'm just going to show you. This is another thing that has to be done on the phone and on Android. So here is the photo. I want to prove that it was a motion photo, meaning it has 3 seconds worth of video. I just tap the little play button up there. So this isn't a video, I just took a photo. But on the Samsung, it's called a motion photo. On the iPhone, it's called a live photo. And now what I can do is swipe up, and I can, I can scroll through the different frames of the 3 seconds video. And I really like it right in the beginning. That right there. That's the one I like the most, and I save a copy. And then I can do a dynamic on that and get it darker and clean it up a little bit. But I think that is very useful specifically for fireworks photos, is the pick a frame from a motion photo. And adding text. Okay, so this is a picture of Anchorage, Alaska, where we just were a couple days ago. And it's beautiful with the mountains behind it, but my photo is a little crooked and it's a little mushy, and I want to put the words Anchorage, Alaska. So on my Samsung, but using Google Photos, you all do realize that, right? I'm not using the tools that came with Samsung or tools that came with an iPhone. It is the tools that come with Google Photos. Edit, and edit original, and actions and crop, and that's so I can get it to be completely straight, and then I'll crop it in a little bit closer, and I like that. I tap the check mark. Then I go to auto and dynamic. Ooh, can you see how the water gets bluer? It's just it's a prettier picture. Now I want text. That's markup and text. And I type Anchorage, Alaska. And I'm done. I move it into place, 2 fingers to make it smaller, and check mark. There is my picture, looking prettier and having words on it. All done in Google Photos and right on the phone. I'm not going to save that though. Okay. Now, if you don't have an Android, then Google Photos does not have the text. I recommend another app called Snapseed, and we do have a little video, just a 1.5 minute video, so let's play that on how you would add text to a border of a photo using Snapseed. Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks On Tour, and in this video I want to show you how to add text to a border of a photo using the free Snapseed app. So I'm going to open up Snapseed. This happens to be a Samsung, but it works the same on an iPhone. And I tap the plus to open a photo. Or if you're using Google Photos, you can open the photo first and then go to Snapseed. See video number 699 on how to do that. I'm going to open this picture of Jim, and I want it to say Mr. Geek at the bottom, but I want it to be on a specific border on the bottom. To do that, I'll go to Tools and Expand. Now with Expand, you have a choice of the expanded area being black, white, or smart. I want to choose black. I drag that down, and I now have a black border. Check mark. Tools and Text. Double tap here to change text. Double tap. Now I have text to be replaced, and I type Mr. Geek and OK. Now I can move that down into the border. I like it. I tap the check mark. I export and save. I see a couple questions in the chat. We could deal with those now. Steve says, when taking a picture of a window display, reflections are a problem. Can Google Photos help? Not yet. That is something I absolutely expected. In fact, I wonder if maybe the Reimagine would do that. I need to find an example of a reflection on a window. That is something I expected to come with these new tools. I haven't seen it yet. And that's one feature that the Samsung Gallery has that Google Photos doesn't have. It does have a reflection remover, and I have another video on that in my video library. Bill, even though some features are available only on the phone, it is nice to cast or use Smart View to mirror the screen to larger TVs. Yeah, but you can't do any editing on the larger TV. I mean, you can view it, but you can't work with it.
Well, if you're just
right?
mirroring your screen,
if you're
you
just,
can.
Oh, okay. You're just, but you still have to touch the phone to do it.
All right.
But this works. These things work on tablets or on Chromebooks, so that's how you get a bigger screen than the phone. All right. Then once you have your
Chris, can I ask
yeah,
a quick question?
sure.
As far as the reflection on the Samsung, is that through
Yeah.
Google Photos, or is it something that Samsung, the device, has?
That's the photo app that comes with your Samsung, the Samsung Gallery.
Thank you.
Samsung Gallery has a reflection remover. But yeah, and if you do it with that, then it gets saved to the phone and Google Photos will see it. So there are a few things that I use Samsung Gallery for. Now, once you have all your pretty pictures, you want to put them in an album so that you don't have to look through your thousands of photos, you just have the album. And the way you do that is you just select the photos, click the little plus, and add to album. It's very easy. And then you can share the whole album. So for example, we have made an album of all our photos that we've taken on this trip so far. Well, not all of them, just our best ones that we have then edited and put into the album. And then you click the share button and copy link and copy. And you can paste that link anywhere. Let me show you where you can get it because I've pasted it into our website. geeksontour.com, and go to Our Cruising Life, and current photo album. Right there is the link to our current photo album. If you click there, you will see all of our pictures. And notice that there shouldn't be any crooked ones, there shouldn't be any dull ones, because I do a couple of clicks of editing before I put them in the album. Okay. Well, I'm kind of zipping through the Google Photos so we can get to the cruise ship. Just one more thing on Google Photos. One of my favorite features is map view. So I want to show you a picture that we took of the glaciers. Well, I can find where the glaciers are on the map and then show them to you there. This is a feature that's only available, once again, on mobile devices. So here I am in Google Photos, just looking at my pictures. I tap on Collections, and then it's under Places. You know, your phone has GPS on it, and it can stamp every picture with the location where it was taken. So I tap there, I tap on the big map at the top, and it's showing where I am right now. But if I pinch and zoom in, the glacier, the big glacier, was over here in the corner of Alaska. Wherever you see those colors means that photos were taken in that location. I tap on that, and now the photos that are there show up at the bottom in date order. So here are our pictures of that glacier. And that is Google Photos map view. And I can go to anywhere. If I want to show you pictures that we took in Italy, I just go all the way over to Italy, then zoom in and show you pictures from Rome. And you can see that that was taken in May of 2022. That is Google Photos map view. All right. Now, any questions on Google Photos before we get into the cruise ship stuff? Looks like we've done it. Okay. We do live on a cruise ship. That's the cruise ship behind us there, called the Villa Vie Residences. And this is our journey so far. We started in South America, in Colombia, in April. And we've gone up the Central America, in Mexico, took a jog over to Hawaii, back to San Diego, up the West Coast, inside passage of Alaska, and that number 38 is where we are right now. And we are on it for many years to come. They have planned the itinerary through the next 3.5 years. So we are at that number 2 point. From here we go to Japan, number 3, down through the Philippines and Australia, and then we end the year in the South Pacific. We start next year going over to New Zealand and going around Australia. Then we go up into Southeast Asia and China, down and over to Thailand, and we end 2026 in Sri Lanka. Then we pick up, we go to Madagascar, around Africa, into the Mediterranean, and then whoop, over to the Galapagos, Easter Island actually. And then we end in Scandinavia and London in August 29, 2028. And that's not the end. We can stay on. What we've bought gives us 15 years. And they just don't know, they don't have the itinerary planned yet beyond.
It's in the planning stages.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. And people ask, how does it get planned? Well, there are people who know what they're doing
Hopefully.
that plan all these. There's so much to take into consideration. But those of us who live on board and who have bought in can ask. We can definitely give them our feedback of where we want to go, and they take that into account. Absolutely.
They certainly do.
It is the Villa Vie Residences, villavieresidences.com. That is our home, and I'll show you the website in a minute. And we will open it up for questions after we answer what we know are the top 3 questions.
How much does it cost?
Well, there's different ways, and if you just go to the website, right there on the main page, it'll tell you the different ways you can come on board and how much it costs. And for buying into it like we did, it costs different depending on what cabin you get. So the balcony, cabins with a balcony and that are bigger cost a lot more than our cabin, which is just a standard size cruise ship cabin with a window.
On the deck 4.
On deck 4.
Now there are other cabins on deck 3 that have portholes, and they are less expensive. And then there are inside cabins as well, so those are even less expensive. We pay $5,000 a month for what they call maintenance, and that covers all of our food, all of our cleaning, a laundry, beer and wine for lunch and dinner, and travel, worldwide travel.
And we paid $170,000 up front for the right for owning this cabin for 15 years. Now, at the end of 15 years, we're done. We got nothing to show for it. You know, it is not an asset like a house, but we do own it for the 15 years, and we can sell it or rent it out at any time during that. How's the food?
The food is really good. I mean, wow, sometimes it's fantastic. And there's a good variety all the time. We always have fish and typically pork or some kind of beef or meat. Lamb was on the menu last night with mint jelly. It was very good. And there's a grill out on the back deck, and they have hot dogs and hamburgers and chicken sandwiches. They have other sandwiches. They have pasta station. And there are 2 restaurants that are normally running right now. One is a sit-down restaurant. It's on deck 4 aft, and the buffet is on deck 6 aft.
I really like eating the buffet. I like to browse and pick exactly what I want.
There's always a good salad bar as well.
And how do you get your mail?
Well, we get our mail the same way that we did when we were RVing and traveling around the country. We have a mail forwarding service. It's in Florida. That's where our domicile is. That's where we vote. Our driver's licenses are there. And they scan every envelope when the mail comes in, so we can look at it on the web. We can see on their website what mail is there, and then we can choose to have it forwarded to the Villa Vie offices in Pembroke Pines, Florida, and they will get it to the ship, or we could have them shred it, or if it's something important, they'll even open it up and we can see it by fax and deal with it that way. Emails are great. Okay. What are you doing?
I want to, well, those are our FAQs. We've already dealt pretty much with the others, and I want to show them how they can answer any of these questions. And Steve says your route has a lot of zigzagging. So, well, that's just how I drew the big picture. If you go to our website, click on Our Cruising Life, and you want to see our exact itinerary map right here, new itinerary map, then it doesn't look quite as zigzaggy. These are all the ports of call. Now, how they get from one port to another, yes, will depend on weather. Will depend on weather and other things that I don't have any clue of. So, for example, we were just in Kodiak and we're going to Japan, and we were supposed to go this way, but there's a storm down here. So instead, they crossed over the Aleutian chain, and we are up in the Bering Sea for our transit to Japan. And to give you a little idea of what life is like on here, there is our cruise ship compared to one of the standard large cruise ships. Say, ours only holds 900. This one maybe holds 3,000
or more
people. Yeah, or more. And you know, this is the door to our cabin. You know, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, that should look familiar. We had a lot of stuff shipped to the ship before we arrived, so these boxes were waiting for us. The only storage we have is under the bed, so you get these risers so that you can put fit more stuff under the bed. I mean, we have a closet, but I mean for storing
Stuff.
long terms, like our scuba gear. Our scuba gear is under the bed. What is this you're unwrapping here?
Okay, we got some art shipped to the ship, and the art that's on the wall there is kind of ugly, and so we had them take that off, and we had them put up our stuff. There it is.
So that's
yeah. We can make changes to the room. We can put some furniture in there. This is a picture from the window, so we have it set up so Chris has a desk there, and so that's her office, and we're back to back, and this is where we're sitting right now. Where I'm sitting, we're sitting together for this, and yeah, we have everything we need. We have all kinds of. There's a big TV in here, and we can even use that as a separate monitor, but we're perfectly happy in this small space. Remember, we came from the RV world, so this is something that we're very comfortable. But we have our own art up there. The picture on the right there is a weaving that Chris has been dragging around the world
all my life.
all her life.
Well, for a long time.
Yeah, it was created by a woman, a friend of ours, and she made that. So
Jim wanted some holes in the desk where he could put his wires and cables through, so they came down and drilled the holes for him.
Yeah, they have carpenters, and they have seamstresses and people that'll do work on the boat and all kinds of stuff. So
this little wooden cabinet is something that actually was originally designed for our RV, but we had it shipped to the ship, and they mounted it up to the wall, so I have a cupboard above my desk. There's always fresh fruit. Always. I don't know how they do it, but
paella.
Paella.
There's outside, back by the grill, outside the buffet dining room, and you can sit out there on nice days, and they have heaters out there when it's a little chilly, as it was today, but it's very pleasant, so you can eat al fresco, and there's another deck you can take. They'll serve you a food up on 7 as well.
And you can see this is a good cross-section of the people. I think all of these people, except maybe him, are younger than us.
Yeah, Fred might be older.
And then
it's
a nice romantic dinner out there.
Yeah, we have it made. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, coffee by Push Button Coffee.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things. On a lot of cruise ships, you have to pay extra for that fancy coffees and things. But it's included on ours. There was a wedding on board. These people met in Belfast when they were getting ready to get the ship started, and they fell in love and they got engaged, and so a bunch of the fellow residents did this flash mob dance for their wedding. Everybody jumped in the pool afterwards, including the captain who performed the ceremony. It was just such fun. We have a great time on board.
But it's hard to express how different the feeling is on this ship versus a regular one. I mean, this may look like a normal cruise ship party, but no. These are all family. We know them all. You know, they're resident. They live here. They're not here just to party.
Although they do plenty of partying.
And this is one of our waiters. You see, you do get to be very friendly with your staff. And a couple other residents who we really like, and they have their own blogs and websites if you want to follow them. And these two are troublemakers. We've done some excursions with them. They're great fun. This is one of the excursions we did with them.
In Mazatlan.
Yeah.
We rented
e-bikes in Mazatlan.
And took a tour.
And lots of activities on board. I think this is a birthday party or a trivia, and then this is the captain being interviewed by one of our residents. Just the kind of thing that happens all the time. And then you do get off the ship sometimes.
We won't be off the ship for several days now while we're going to Japan, but once we get to Japan, we may even get off the ship, and we're planning on getting off the ship for a couple of days and staying in a hotel and doing some things while we're off, and then come back to the ship in a different port.
Hawaii. Oh, and exercise classes and a full gym, which, we use all the time.
No, we don't. We don't really. Don't believe her.
We've used once or twice.
More fun.
Question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
I saw a piano on there. Can anybody play that piano, or
There are several pianos on
only
board.
for
There are
staff?
there are several pianos on board. This happens to be one of
The paid entertainers.
the paid entertainers. But yeah, that's available for playing or practicing. There's another keyboard, electric keyboard, in what we call the living room. They call it the Morning Light Cafe. And then there's another piano, a nice baby grand in the Neptune Lounge. So, and yeah, there are some.
That's great.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I presume that they charge you
there's
extra
home for you guys.
say that again.
I presume they charge you extra for the tours and that kind of stuff when you go ashore.
Yeah, just like on a regular cruise ship. We don't do too many of the paid excursions. We get off the ship and we walk around, or we might take an Uber to the Golden Gate Park, for instance. That's, but
Yeah, so we just got off the ship and walked, or took an Uber to the
we took a Waymo.
away. That was fun.
Yeah, one of those driverless cars in San Francisco, and we went down.
We
and,
got off at the Palace of Fine Arts, and then we walked to the Golden Gate Bridge,
Yeah, Chrissy Fields.
and then we had dinner at Pier.
How do they deal with people on different time schedules? So people who like to go to bed early, or do you ever have to worry about noise? People that like to get up at 5:00 in the morning, and you one of those that likes to sleep until 10.
People can do whatever they want. Now, food, I mean, breakfast is served from 7 to 10, lunch from noon to 2, and dinner from 6:30 to 8:30.
And they do put out sandwiches and things like that in the business center for the folks that are up late. And there are several bars around. So they have room service. You know, it's on a schedule as well, but you can get stuff from the kitchen at different times that aren't scheduled. But that's how they handle it. There are some people who, like the one young man from South Africa, is on a complete different schedule, so he's up all night with his classes, and he sleeps during the day.
And now I think he does go into the cafe, the buffet, and gets a plate of food and brings it back to his room and puts it. We have a little refrigerator in the room, and so that he can eat at 2:00 in the morning.
So you can do that kind of stuff.
And
It's
All
fantastic.
right, guys. Well, listen. I think we're getting into the full Q&A part.
Yes.
I'd like to go ahead and stop the recording at this point. Thank you very much.
okay.
Great presentation. We love it. So everyone can review this later on our YouTube channel. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so that we can openly start asking questions.
Okay.
Again, thank you very much, and I'll be stopping the recording.
Recording stopped.
Marcelino,
Yeah.
question, Chris and Jim. You said you signed a 15-year agreement on this boat. What happens if they do maintenance on the boat and they can't travel?
Well, they will put us up in a hotel or deal with it that way. Like when we're in, where's it going to be?
not Philippines, Singapore.
In Singapore.
In Singapore next year.
But a lot of people are going to do other things. They'll get.
Well, I think maybe you're asking. I mean, if the ship sinks. I mean, if the ship dies, before we do, before our 15 years is up?
Okay.
What happens? Well, in the contract, they do guarantee to buy back whatever portion of our time is left, and they have a prorated amount. Now, if the ship sinks, the company probably doesn't have any money. I mean, we know that just like any investment, it's at risk. People who do this know that they are risking. The contract does say that we'll get paid, but that's a risk.
What about if they decide to upgrade, switch to a different ship? Can they do that?
That's in the contract too. We can switch to a new ship for whatever's left of our 15 years.
And it's $60,000 a year, basically.
Basically, for the two of us, for maintenance.
That's for maintenance. Now, when I say the purchase price of the 15 years, that's what we paid $170,000 for.
For this room in this location.
Yeah, yeah. There are some less. There are some a lot more.
And one couple has 3. They bought 3 cabins with, they're balcony cabins. So they spent a lot of money in the very beginning, and they've taken out the walls, and so they have a huge 2-bedroom, 3-bath suite up on 7.
Walk-in closets.
Yeah, a sewing room, all that stuff. All it takes is money, man. That's if you got it, you can do it.
Great.
That's always the case.
Right. So we're doing something that's affordable for us. We sold our house in Florida, so this is the only home we have. We didn't financially have to sell the house in Florida, but we don't want to go back to there. So if the ship does sink, we'll figure out and go someplace else if we survive.
So how is the power as far as the electricity for you? I mean, is it pretty reliable, like normal, or do they have little brownouts or anything? Or
it's been very reliable. So I think we have both 110 and 220 outlets in our room. I had to run an extension to get it to the other side of the room for Chris, because they're all right here by my desk. But there's all kinds of, it's been very reliable.
Okay. And then the internet is, how has that been really? I mean, you've had
that's included. The internet is included. The Starlink is included. It's been very robust. As you see, we're doing a Zoom call. We've done
5 or 6 of our live streaming YouTube shows now, and we're on Zoom all the time.
Right, and we've found that it works quite well.
Now it does go down once in a while.
Oh yeah, a couple last week a couple of weeks ago, we were doing our live show and it crashed completely, but it came back. It's just that the bandwidth went down and it disconnected. As you probably had that experience, and we had that experience even with our fiber optics. So
that happens.
Yeah. So, it happens.
Most of the time, it's great.
What's your regular kind of speed that you see on the Starlink? Just like your
that's a
100
good.
megabits?
That's a good question. It's variable. Like sometimes the upload is a lot slower than the download. So if a lot of people do have Fire Sticks and they're streaming videos and doing all kinds of stuff, it's a shared network. But right now,
well, no, I've taken some screenshots of speed tests.
So here's one to 25 down and 5.5 up.
You want to share that so we can see it? It's pretty tiny there.
Oh,
yeah, I can. Here,
Here.
There we go.
Here,
We'll just spotlight that. You see that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's respectable.
Yeah, it's not great, but sometimes it's really, really good. And now if we're in port and there's good cellular, we might, either split our connection. So Chris will be on cell and I'll be on Starlink, and sometimes the Starlink is well over 100 down and like 30 up. So it varies a lot. So
Great.
we were out kayaking.
What do you use for cell phone?
Pardon?
What do you use for a cell phone connection?
I use Google Fi, but there are we can get separate SIMs.
Now, when we're at sea, there is no
There
cellular.
is no cellular at
You
sea.
do Wi-Fi calling,
Yeah,
but it works. That Wi-Fi calling works fine.
right. It's been really good. It's not something that we've had to worry about too much.
But when we're in different ports, yes, we have to figure out what kind of SIM will work in that port.
And
So, with regards to like services like Netflix, which is sort of IP dependent, or they go by your address type of thing. Have you experienced any issues with that, where they say, "Hey, you're not in this country," or something or is the IP something that's a U.S. based IP?
well, then in that case, you might want to use a VPN, a virtual private network, one of the services that make it look like you're in a different place. Some financial places require that as well. So
Right.
yeah, so a VPN, that's when you would want to use a VPN. We
Okay, so
have
you
we have not encountered that yet.
Oh, okay. Because that would be like you made a good point there. Like some of the banks and stuff, they're gonna check that the IP address that you're getting is like a U.S. based IP or
Yeah.
something. And I know of other things that also check for like localized IP. Oh, you're in San Francisco. Okay, you're good. That's in the area you live in. But all of a sudden you're connecting from New York, and they say, "Oh, you're not in your hometown. What's up?"
Yeah, that's when
And yeah, Prime sometimes will do that. I know Netflix for sure, because they're really locking down families that share their Netflix account over the world.
yeah,
So,
that's true.
coming in.
And it is against Netflix's terms of service to use a VPN
Right.
as well. So, people do it, but whether they're doing it, they can get shut off. There are things like that. We don't do too much
Well, in your
Netflix,
case-
but yeah.
Your case is legit. You're traveling, you're connecting from different areas. So I imagine, I don't know, maybe you don't have a Netflix account, so it hasn't been a problem, but
Oh, we do.
I would say, oh, how come you're connecting from Japan today?
Yeah. Well, also, since we're on Starlink predominantly, right now our IP address is still back in Seattle, I believe, if we do an IP, if we check our IP. So but as we travel, that'll change. You're absolutely correct, and we'll have to deal with it. We don't know yet. We haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to find out how it handles that. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
What if you need to order something from Amazon, or you need to get things like medications from your doctor? And how does that work?
Okay, that's a good question. We were getting very used to having one day Amazon deliveries. Now, if we get it in a month or two, we're happy. We can still order. We did some ordering from Amazon and have it sent to, in San Diego, it was a Whole Foods market. And sometimes it's a UPS store in Alaska, or they have drops for Amazon. Your doctor stuff, they have made some arrangements, with shipping companies. A lot of folks will have it sent to headquarters in Pembroke Pines, Florida, and they'll bring it to the ship. People are coming and going the people from Villa Vie are coming and going on the ship all the time. They have salespeople coming in, and they'll bring the drugs and bring the mail and things like that. If it's not,
It just takes a long time.
it just takes a long time. And so I think our next regular shipment from Florida in a container type thing we'll get when we're in Fiji. But
Which is a few months.
What about medical on the ship?
medical on the ship, we have a doctor and 2 nurses, and they can handle most emergency types of things. If it's something that's really serious, they'll get you to shore. If we have a serious problem, we're going to come back to the United States. We have Medicare, so that's what we'll do if if it gets to that point. But a broken bone or something like that, they'll put you into a hospital close by, and they'll take care of it, and then you come back on. We had a woman who had some sort of episode or incident while we were in Alaska, and she was admitted to the hospital, and they kept her overnight, but the following day they released her and she came back to the ship. So it's that kind of thing.
I have a quick story about. Go ahead.
What do they charge you for medical?
Okay, so I have a quick story about the medical center here. I caught a little cold, but because I have a history of asthma, it always goes down to my chest and I'm coughing for a week later. Usually I would just ride that out because getting a doctor's appointment in Florida took a long time. Here, there's a doctor downstairs. I said, I'm going to go see what he says. I went downstairs, he listened to my lungs, he did all this stuff, he gave me some prednisone. The total bill, $15 for the prednisone. No charge for the doctor visit. Being able to just walk downstairs and see a doctor, priceless.
Yeah. Nice.
Now, there are charges for certain things, absolutely, and they have some drugs available. They have a little pharmacy together, but for major stuff, you're going to do it ashore.
They do have a
Do they
respirator.
have a little store on board?
There is a
that
little.
A very
sundries and things like that.
They do have sundries and
A very little
candy
store.
and shirts and things like that. Yeah, mugs. They have that kind of stuff.
But we're usually in port at least every few days. This is unusual that we're at sea for 10 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big exciting outing when people get off the ship. Oh, what are you doing today? What's your excursion?
Oh, we're going to Costco or Walmart.
Or the pharmacy. I got a prescription
and the
filled.
liquor store. You're allowed to bring your own. You can bring wine and beer and alcohol back to the ship. A lot of cruise ships don't allow that. But we have a little fridge, so after we're done here, we're gonna pop a little bottle and have a because it's gone so well. We're real happy with this.
Any issues with?
So you have to use.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
No, any issues with motion?
I was-
Because it's not a huge cruise ship, but it's you probably do feel something.
Motion sickness. We've been boat people most of our lives.
we don't have
and
any problems.
We do not get seasick.
But
We've been in very rough seas.
there are folks out there that wear the scopal mount, whatever that is, the patch. Some people take Dramamine. Some
The boat does have
stabilizers.
stabilizers.
Yeah, it's been smooth, and
It has to be really rough to feel it.
yeah.
Okay.
What about,
Where's the most stable part on the boat as far as seasickness?
Right in the middle and lower decks.
Lower decks in the middle. So if you,
That's what I
yeah.
You have to get your sea legs back when you go ashore?
No.
It hasn't been a problem.
No.
Yeah.
That's been surprising to me.
Yeah, when we were, when I was on small boats, I used to work on boats, and if we were at sea for, a couple of days or something like that, when I got to shore, it seemed like, the shore was rocking. We haven't had that issue here yet. So, and it surprised me. Because I was kind of expecting to have a little bit of...
Because it's pretty stable, but yes, you're on a... Like, I take a little exercise class, and you have to balance, on one leg. It can be a lot more difficult than at home.
Yeah.
In a house.
All right.
All right, well, any last minute questions that you want to throw at the Gulds here? And if not, I think we'll call it a night and let you get back to, you're probably going to go eat dinner, I guess.
Soon.
That it's probably dinner time, huh?
Well, it's getting there. It'll be... Yeah, the one restaurant, the sit-down restaurant opens at 6, so that'll be another half hour for us here. And then the buffet opens at 6:30, so we'll probably hang out.
What time is it right now?
Right now we're at 5:22, so we're 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
We're 3
just-
hours earlier than you.
Yeah,
But they're also in the upper latitudes, so you change time zones pretty quickly if you go east.
We will be...
West.
We'd have to change our clocks back an hour 7 times between Anchorage and Japan. 7 times.
Wow. Wait, but,
Wow.
and we lose a day or gain a day.
We
gain
gain
a day.
we lose a day, no.
We lose a day
it's
going
not
east.
Monday for you guys. It's not Monday. You're still on Sunday, right?
Yeah,
No, it's Monday.
it's Monday here.
It is Monday.
Yeah.
It's Monday the 28th for you guys, but it's 5.
Okay. It's Tuesday in Japan right now.
Right.
Right.
It's Tuesday when you get to
So
Japan.
do you have to deal with foreign currency at all?
Yeah, we can if we want to. Credit cards work everywhere, Visa, and if we want, we have a card where we can get local currency. There's an ATM on board. It only does U.S. money, but yeah, when you're in a foreign country, just like regular travel, we just use our credit card for most things, and if we need cash in a local currency, we'll go to an ATM there. It's not a big deal.
Anymore.
It used to be a big deal. It's not a big deal anymore.
Not with credit cards nowadays. But one thing, are most of the other residents from the U.S. as well, or they're from other countries as well?
The majority are U.S. or maybe 50% anyway. But
Oh
we
yeah,
have
more
all
than
sorts-
half.
We have lots of Australians, South Africans, Germany,
Canadians,
Canadians, Italians,
South Africa.
Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the crew are Filipinos, and India is so for the crew that's
One
the
guy
thing.
from Namibia.
Right.
He's still an American, but he's been living in Namibia for the last.
I'm
What is
asking
your
more like
crew?
as far as residents, like you guys, like you bought, your condo there, your room. Are most of the people that have bought into it, are they American, or like are they actually from, not the crew necessarily, because they could be from anywhere.
Yeah, no, all
I'm
the
saying other people that have bought into it, are they mostly from America?
I would say that most of them are, but certainly not all of them. So yeah.
all the countries I listed were fellow residents, not crew.
Right, no, but let's say that I'm from Italy.
Yeah.
I can go in and buy in on one of these. I can buy
Yes.
my
Yes.
condo, my floating
Yes.
condo, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you got the money.
Where is the crew from?
The crew is from everywhere. A lot of Indonesia, a lot of Philippines, a lot of Indians, but Mauritius is another country that our hairdresser person is from Mauritius.
From Mauritius, yeah.
So they're from all over, but just like any other cruise ship, they're typically
They're
contract workers.
Yeah.
So they could be there for a year, and then after the year, they may go somewhere else.
The crew is usually on for less than a year, several months at a time, and then they cycle out. A lot of them come back because they like the ship so much. They like working here. It's kind of cool.
It sounds really fascinating, really.
I think on one of your other broadcasts, you were talking about there's a medium-term rental program, like to go from point A to point B over 2 months or so.
Yes, there are. The residents can rent their own rooms out. Some people have bought these rooms just to rent and use it as a vacation home. They kept their homes. Like one couple has a place in Washington D.C. but they're back on the ship. They were gone for a couple of months. Another couple are expats and they live in Nicaragua, but they're Americans. And then several of the expats in Mexico have places in like Puerto Vallarta, but they're on the ship. Bill, you have your hand up.
Yes, you said you had a chief on board?
A chief? Oh, an Indian. I said doctors, lawyers, Indian chief. No, I was kidding. although we may, and I'm not aware of it. We have a Navy.
Okay,
we have several Navy chiefs on board, a retired Navy.
How long do you have the same captain for?
3 months, I think, the captain is on for.
I believe so. Yeah. So Captain Val will be back in September, and
Captain Jelko is on now. We've been on for just over 3 months, and we are on our second captain.
but it's the same two that switch out.
We just go back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Captain Val is from. I think they're both from Bulgaria, but
Romania, Bulgaria.
One of the
Eastern
European countries, but great guys. Yeah.
What registry is the ship?
Bahamas.
So how would one go about going on a 2-week vacation or something like that on your ship?
So here's how you can answer that question even when we're not around. If you go to...
Hang on.
Okay.
All right.
GeeksOnTour.com, Our Cruising Life, and all these links. Learn to rent a cabin for yourself. Choose segments or dates here, or rent from owners. So renting from owners, there's a whole separate website. Yeah, Villa Vie Rentals. And you can say, I want 2 weeks in the Philippines. And it'll see if any resident has a room that they are not going to be using during that time.
It's pretty cool.
And it's roughly $200 a night. That included everything.
I think it's higher.
Is it $250 now?
Yeah.
And depending on the room you get, depending on the deck and the size of cabin.
And how long you want to stay. Typically, if you rent from an owner, they're not in it for the money. They just want to cover the costs, because when you're off the ship, you still have to pay your maintenance fee. So, yeah. And then if we wanted to rent this room, we had 2 ways of doing it. We could do it through a broker on board, or we can do it through the company, and they'll take half and cover the maintenance. So, it depends on what you want to do. We don't plan on doing that. We don't want to rent our house, just like,
Right, that makes sense.
But some
But
do.
I imagine there's probably people that do want to invest in it that would like to be able to travel for a certain amount of time, but then have to go back home, maybe to have family that they want to
Yeah, there are people that have gone in with partners, and so they'll spend half a year on, or a couple of months here and a couple of months there, and they switch back and forth. But then, those rooms are more like cruise ship rooms, and they're not your home. You don't put a lot of, like we have our furniture in here, and we have that kind of stuff, and there's not a lot of storage, so there's really no place to keep your stuff.
Yeah, there's no storage area on the ship. No.
Well, there's a small one, but it's in high demand.
Yeah, you'd think that they would be able to take that into account and make some modifications for, like, yourselves that are going to be there for long term. You may have some suitcases and stuff that you might want to keep in a little storage area that you're not using every day. Or, well, you're probably taking up all the desktop with computer gear that many other people don't.
Right.
I saw your computer, you have all the goodies there for doing the broadcast and everything.
Yep. Yeah, so,
wow.
But that's what we had in our stick and brick house too. I had.
Yeah, well, that's when you had your RV. Yeah, you're used to it because of that.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, we haven't lost too many people. Look at this.
When you were in your RV, the nice thing about that is that if you decided to take a little detour to go to, I would say, Radio Shack in the old days, they go buy a power cord or something. You could do it here. Might not be so easy.
You have to wait till you're in port.
That's one of the deals about it, and it takes some getting used to. There's one fellow on board who is only on as a segmenter, but he bought several segments, and he's leaving the ship sometime, and and that was his one of his reasons, because he doesn't have any control. So, like, when we go where the ship goes, and
right.
And when on the ship's schedule, so we don't have a whole lot. Now we can get off the ship and get back on the ship later, but that's all up to us. And
it's like a lot of.
If you were to decide, hey, I want to stay 2 weeks in Japan, but the ship is not going to be there, you could just do that, and then you would have to fly to the next destination.
Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people are doing that in Japan, actually.
Yeah, some people are getting off in Japan and going to China and spending a couple of weeks and doing a lot of different tours. So if the ship isn't going where you want to go, you have to get off the ship. That's, it's just like when if you have a house, if you want to go somewhere, you got to leave the house. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do it, and the ship has only been going since last September. It's the only ship in the world that's affordable that's doing this residential cruising. Now you hear a lot about people who do cruise after cruise after cruise and that sort of thing, but yeah, that's not what this is.
This is
What about laundry and that kind of stuff?
They do our laundry twice a week. There is another resident laundry down on 2 or 3. We let them do the laundry. We don't have that much, so it's great. They make up your room twice a week. Change out the linens, do the towels and all that stuff. It's not every day like it would be on some cruise ships, but it's twice a week for us. And it's included. It's great.
Are you able to cook on board at all? I mean, like, if you are a chef or you're somebody who likes to cook?
No, they had talked about having a culinary center, but because of legalities, restrictions, fire codes and things like that, cruise ships are very highly regulated. It's pretty amazing. We can't even have a microwave, or now the rooms do come with a coffee maker. We had ours taken out because I have a thermos that I put coffee in, and if we're going to be in the room in the morning, I'll just bring a fill it up upstairs and bring that. But normally we just go and have a couple of cups of coffee at breakfast, and we might bring another cup. But the business center always has a big coffee on, and there are cookies up there and sandwiches and things.
Not 24/7?
No. Well, the coffee's there
the coffee
24.
and cookies are. Yeah. Oh no, the cookies, they put the cookies away, don't they?
Yeah, they can't leave the
They can't
food
leave
out
food
for.
out.
Yeah, food has to be refrigerated, and then they have to switch it out. Again, those are regulations. Those are, for health concerns. You can't have that kind of stuff just laying around like you can at home. So yeah,
Are there any animals on board?
there are some cats. I think we have like 10 cats on board. I happen to be allergic to cats. Now,
So now, do you have to pay a separate fee for your cat?
I don't
so.
know. I think there was a cost for the cats.
Yeah, I don't know.
but
But
yeah.
they have a limit. I mean, I think we're at our limit.
Yeah. Now they're talking about no dogs on this ship, but one of the owners of the company has mentioned that the next ship they're gonna try and have a place for dogs. Now we had a friend who went on the Queen Mary across the Atlantic, and they have a kennel for the dogs, but the dogs couldn't stay in the room. They had to be in the kennel, and you have to have a place to walk the dogs, that kind of stuff. Now cats are easier, they have to have a litter box and that kind of stuff, but cats are a lot easier than most other animals.
Well, there's also health regulations you go in when you've been in a different country, bringing it back into like the United States.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, there's
Don't have to-
all kinds of regulations and stuff. I wouldn't want to deal with that, but some people, won't come on this ship because they can't bring their dog or whatever. So that's not our issue. That's their issue.
I go, oh well.
Can you talk about the Jones Act?
What he's talking about is there's and it's not just the United States, has this thing called the Jones Act. It has another long name, I forget the whole thing, but you can't be transported on a foreign flagged ship in certain countries. You can't get on and off, so they won't. So if you wanted to get on this ship, to embark on this ship in San Diego, for instance, and disembark, leave the ship in San Francisco, that would be not allowed under the Jones Act because this is a foreign flagged ship. Now, Japan, Australia, other countries have similar laws. The Jones Act is the one for the United States. And it was originally put out there to, keep the money in the country or with the.
And I have a link on our cruising page that says that goes to a document about countries where domestic voyages are not allowed. So all that information is on
What
that.
does that mean? I'm not understanding what you guys are talking about.
Well, that's because it's very complicated.
And it's a stupid law.
It's a stupid, complex issue. But, if you've ever been on a cruise to, say, the Bahamas, and you got on the cruise ship in Fort Lauderdale, they have to go to the Bahamas before you can get off in another American port. It's a law for what?
Step to Hawaii, it has to stop in Mexico.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it has to go to a foreign port, some distant foreign port, apparently, in order for it to work. There is one American flagged ship that is in Hawaii, and it just goes around Hawaii. The Pride of America. We were on that cruise ship one year, but yeah, there are laws, and it has to do with transporting goods and people, passengers, within certain countries. It's very restrictive, so that's just something that people have to deal with.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're really interested in understanding it, there are links, and it's not easy. But so we have to take that into consideration. Chris is going to be going to, Google is flying her to Dublin in October because of her affiliation with Google Photos. And so I'm not going. I would normally go and carry her bags, but we would have to pay for that. She's getting off in Manila to fly to Dublin, and then the ship keeps going. We'll be going to several other ports before she gets back, and she's only gone a week. So she's flying.
I'm going to be flying for longer than the conference is.
So yeah, she's flying back to Manila, and then she has to get to Guam from Manila. So we'll drop her off somewhere in the Philippines so she can get to Manila easily, and then she'll come back onto the ship in Guam, and I'll be doing something all by myself.
Well, this was fun, you guys.
Yeah, we don't want to keep you up too late.
Right.
But if you want to,
Really appreciate this, guys.
We love talking about it.
Excellent.
Obviously,
yeah. I mean, the Google's photo was very, very, very interesting, and I think everyone here is going to go and look at their Google Photos and look at the new stuff here.
Yeah, and look into the Villa Vie. You all are welcome to come on board and try it out. It's a lot of fun.
We may do that. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting idea.
One woman we used was in the RV for many years, and we knew her from the RV world. She has bought a cabin, and she'll be coming on board. She's selling her house in California, and
we will see her soon, and we will be neighbors. She's going to be in our same hallway.
Yeah, she's just down the hall. But she came on board with a try before you buy. That's something we didn't talk about. That's how we got started. There's 1 week or up to 2 weeks try before you buy, and it's very inexpensive. You have to get to the ship, but you get to try it out and decide if it's for you. It's not for everyone, obviously, but we tried it, and we shook hands on an agreement, and we paid our money in January, and we got on board in April. So it's pretty cool. Our house didn't sell until June, though.
But it did.
But it did, yeah. We signed all the papers while we were on in the Pacific between Hawaii and California. And it was all done online.
Where was your house in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale. We were there for.
You were able to do all the house selling, all electronically, without having to ever actually hold a pen to a pencil to write on a contract.
Amazing, yeah.
Amazing.
That's the beauty of DigiSign.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there's online.
We had a Zoom meeting with an online notary.
Notary public. And they took care of all the signing and stuff like that, and it went back and forth. It was fun.
You could not have done any of that 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago.
Even 5 years ago, that would not be certainly as easy as it was here, and certainly not in the middle of the ocean. So crazy.
Yeah.
Kim and Chris,
Good for you guys.
you want to make sure that you don't miss your cocktail hour. I think it's getting your time. So I think we better let you go.
Okay.
Before we outwear our welcome.
Okay. Well,
Thank you very much.
we enjoyed it. We'll do it again.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Good seeing you all.
Good night.
Be safe.